What's up, everybody, and welcome to a very special video here, a special podcast, short little introduction to our rebrand. My name is Mike, and alongside me are my fellow co-hosts. We have Justin. How you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing great. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Oh, yes. Very excited. And you haven't seen his face in a while. He's usually behind the scenes doing all the editing. But Joe, Jelly, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing wonderful. I'm excited for this. I've been behind the scenes lately. I did have one recent episode, so if you didn't check that out, I think it was 68. Not exactly sure which one was on, but
well, you were on the Sonic review too, so
Sonic review. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited for this. There's been a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of talk, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I hope that everyone listening likes it as much as we love it.
Yeah. And rounding us out is the Mafia Lord himself, Stubby Stan, a.k.a. Cicero Holmes.
New brand, who this?
Who this? Who
New
that's
brand.
going to be this new brand?
Yeah, new brand, who this?
Who this? Yeah, so listeners, we are so excited to just kind of get together here and just introduce you guys to everything that we've been working on for the past several months. Actually, it's been quite a long journey, and so we are so excited to get down to business here in this little video. So first of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about why we are rebranding. And so Joe, I'm going to actually hand it off to you because you and I started this whole thing. We were the 90s first, just you and me. Getting guests left and right.
To that.
There was certainly
Right?
purpose to that. Yeah.
We're both 90s kids, so we had that going for us. It was the greatest generation for TV and movie entertainment. You can at me all you want, but just know that I'm right. And it's going to be a hard push to get me off of this plinth that I live on as 90s being one of the best decades, the best decade for entertainment. I mean, come on now. So yeah, we were born and raised 90s kids. We lived the 90s, we experienced the 90s, and then we wanted to share that with you guys, with everyone watching and listening. We wanted to kind of show you why we loved that decade so much and the stuff that came out of it. Cartoons, animated series, shows, movies, kind of everything. There was so much that I feel, I'm going to speak for Mike on this, that I feel that we got from that era of, cartoons. Like I said, cartoons. We grew up as children there. Cicero experienced it a little differently. Justin's the same age as us, so we all experienced it as this decade of just growth and like the birth of some of the best animation styles with Batman. I think that was our first episode ever was Batman animated series, which is arguably one of the best Batmans in the DCU, if we're gonna consider it part of that.
Yeah, sure.
But there's so much more, right? And being the 90s first, we were getting locked into only the 90s, and with so much more stuff coming, we wanted to be able to talk about that.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing, was that like we didn't cover everything from the 90s. Like we just didn't. But we also didn't want to be pigeonholed to one sort of decade for kind of like content and like new content. Like we love the 90s now stuff and all that, but we really as a team thought that a rebrand was on the horizon. And so yeah, we wanted to kind of get outside of that decade and make sure that some of the new content that was coming, that we had a space to talk about it as well. So Justin, you've been, the 90s, one of the 90s first supporters. Like, Justin,
he was the 90s first supporter.
I see it. So Justin, like 90s first will always hold something even in your heart, because even though you didn't start with us as a full, as a chair on this team, as a permanent member, but like, what are you excited about, like getting away from that to the rebrand itself?
Mainly is the scope of coverage. That's one of the things that I've always thought about is we have so many beloved series and TV shows and movies of the current saga of our life. And I feel like we really want to talk about those because they're passionate with us, and also being relatable for modern times as well. The new stuff that comes out, we're able to cover that now. We're able to hit on those points of what's in the now. And that's a big point of being able to cover that and not being stuck in the 90s. And the 90s was great. Joe said it best. It was one of the best decades, in my opinion. I grew up in it. And I feel like we will always have that place in our heart, but we needed to look into the future. And this was one of the biggest steps we could take.
So, Cicero, with you being a mainstay on Test Your Might specifically, can you just talk about how, although we are doing this rebrand, Test Your Might is kind of staying the same?
I think you said it. Test Your Might is staying the same.
Well,
right?
Why is Test Your Might staying the same? Elaborate.
It's staying the same because it ain't broke, right? It ain't broke.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to fix it. What we're trying to do is just glow up a little, right? So we got good. So we got a little bit of a glow up for Test Your Might. But it's working as it is, right? It's the premier video game debate show on all of the internet. From I might be a little biased, but it is one of the best and most unique video game news shows on the internet. And so we didn't really need to fix it. In fact, we managed to get some of the best people that talk about video games on the internet to come and hang out with us and play our silly little games. So that's what makes it dope. I'm super excited for our new family name, our new crest, right? Yeah. Like when you're a BA, like you came from like old money or whatever, you have a family crest. And that's what we're getting right now. And I'm down for it.
Yeah. So speaking of that new crest, I approached these guys probably a couple months ago and, just had this big long paragraph in our family chat talking about how I just believed, here's a couple steps, couple reasons why I believe that we needed a rebrand. And so we got to whiteboarding and chalkboarding and all this stuff, trying to figure out what the new name was. And so actually from none other than Cicero Holmes, we got that new name. And so without anything else to say, let's, Cicero, reveal your name that you suggested to us and we all fell in love with.
Well, the thing that I really thought about was the fact that we are a group of people that have come together as a family to have fun with each other, right? And just develop shenanigans. So as you're sitting around and you're developing shenanigans, you realize it's What the Fun. And that is our name. What the Fun Podcast Network. We are What the Fun now.
Oh man, it's kind of so surreal to hear that in a Discord call that is going to go out to people and they're going to hear it. It's just it brings a smile on my face. Yeah. Joe, let's go back to you. What the Fun? What's up with that?
So honest talk, it took me a minute. I think I had the biggest reservations going into it. Just because we're all dads here, right? We're all parents. We all understand that there are certain connotations when you say, what the, and you're like, we got to follow something good, right?
Fun.
What the fun is, I had some reservations and it took me a minute, but the more you think about it and you kind of let it sit and, it sinks in, you're like, we're going to change that, right? We here, right here, right now, we are starting a change with what the F, and we're going to turn that from what used to be bad connotations to what the fun, and we're going to bring fun with it every time.
Right. That's right.
And I'm really excited to be a part of that and to kind of move on this journey towards turning what the fun into what I know will be huge and ideally world changing for that phrase.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Justin, what the fun is our new name? What you got?
Dude, I've got goosebumps over here talking like a 90s kid. When I heard that, when Cicero brought that up, I was like, wow, it just sits so well with me. And coming from, Cicero and I are on Test Your Might a lot, and we're like, we love it so much. And hearing that the parent is going to be What the Fun Podcast Network is just surreal. It is such a good name, and it's going to bring a wave. I really feel like it's going to bring a wave across the podcasting chain. A wave, yeah. And I feel like the shenanigans are still going to be there, just like you guys know and love. But What the Fun Podcast Network, it just sounds... God, saying it to people, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's this is going out into the internet, and people are finally figuring out just all the stuff that we had planned and all the stuff that we worked very hard on,
sending it out to the funnyverse, man.
What the Fun to me has is just something that really spoke to me when I was, when Cicero sent it out. And I really love that the direction that we're going with just creating this network of our family talking about the things that we love, and the fun that we have. And, and we call ourselves a family because we really are. We're four brothers who who absolutely love just nerd culture, video games, just anything. And so we're really excited to just bring all the fun that it's going to take to record these new podcasts and everything. And so, yeah. Guys, my son's crying. I'm going to figure out really quick what that is.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll keep going. While we're doing that, the fun must continue. And while we were sitting around and deciding on rebranding the 90s First into something bigger. And, I do want to take the moment to say that the 90s First show is not going away. There will still be episodes for the 90s First show where the spirit of that show will live on in those podcasts where we're, talking about content that came directly from the 90s. So that will live on. But as we were sitting around and we were thinking about, okay, well, we're going to rebrand that, I think Test Your Might needs a new logo. I think it's time for a new logo for Test Your Might as well. And we were, we said, all right, we've got What the Fun. We need a What the Fun logo. And we said, we've got Test Your Might and we need a new Test Your Might logo. And the brain trust went to work.
On Mike's side, he went for straight working on that What the Fun logo, and I went straight into the Test Your Might logo, and then we collabed and we brought it to the family, and we broke down everything we brought on that whiteboard and made it feel right. Like Cicero said before, when you feel good, you look good, and when you feel great, you look great. And or reverse, but
yes, but those
the same
it's great feelings and great looks. So you got it. You got it.
So without further ado, you want to reveal the first logo?
Oh man, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So listeners, this is the What the Fun logo. This will be our podcasting network logo, and this is something that I designed completely, and then we fine-tuned with everybody else's help. So I am most excited for this just because it was one of those things where when I showed it to the boys and they all just had smiles on their face it just made my heart warm that I did something awesome for us as a family here. So Justin, go ahead and reveal the What the Fun logo. Is it there?
Yeah,
I can't see your screen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's surreal right now. What I'm clicking on right now. Just one click of a mouse changes the world.
So yeah, What the Fun. So we we obviously we have Test Your Might, which is a video game debate show, and then we had the 90s First, which is a media show, you know, where we're talking about movies and stuff. And so we had this inspiration. We were trying to go with the circle logo and trying to figure all that out. I could show you all the drafts that we had. Like, I have them all saved on my computer still.
Wait, giraffes?
There was a lot. No,
they're giraffes.
Yeah, the giraffes. And
love giraffes.
I remember talking to Joe one day after we were going through all these logos, and I was like, there's just something missing. Let my creative mind go into it. And so I drew this picture, and I sent that picture to Joe, and Joe was like, there's a concept here, but it's got to be executed.
It's exactly as that is all. Yo, it's there. It's in. I see it. I see what we're going for.
Can reach it,
but that's not it. Like, we need to make it look like it needs to look, but I know what you're going for and I like it. Yeah. And that's the logo. I mean, you can't, if Mike were to show you the original one, you could see it in there, right?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't look at it and go, that's gold. You're going to look at it and go, man, that's real dirty. Yeah. But we're going to clean it up. And inside of it, diamond.
Yeah. And it took a while to get there. I think it took me at least 3 hours to make it. You know, just kind of getting there. And we had some concept. I had some original concepts first, but there was some like awkwardness to it. And so I fine-tuned that. The fun that you are seeing within the controller right now, listeners, if you're watching the video, it is all freehand. I drew that myself. And it's pretty simple with like straight lines and stuff, but still I'm very proud of how it came out and looked. And then obviously the word "what" is kind of like a video camera. So it just kind of all worked out. And there's so much stuff that we could do with this logo, like color wise. We could change the color of the letters. We could change the color of the outline. Cicero, what were your first thoughts when you saw this logo?
When I saw the logo, I was like, oh, I want a shirt. I want this on a shirt. I want this on a hat. I want this on merch. You know, when that's the thing, right? Like, for me, when you see something that's so good that you're like, oh, I want to wear something that also has that on it, then you know you got something good. Now, it could just be me, but I think it'll also be you. You're seeing that. You're like, yeah, that's kind of dope.
Yeah,
I kind of want that on the shirt too.
All right. So what I had to do then is think about, because listeners, we're not getting, I'll explain this a little bit later. We're not getting rid of the 90s First show, but
we've already explained that.
Yeah. Oh, you have?
Cicero alluded to it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, we're not getting rid of the 90s First show. We'll explore that content at a later time, but for now, I also had to make a new logo for just the What the Fun show. And so Justin, if you could go ahead and reveal that for our audience who's watching.
There it is.
And so, I decided to kind of still continue that process of like the straight lines and stuff. And so I drew the word "show" in between the controller and everything. And so that is our new logo for our main stage show, which is the What the Fun show, where we'll be talking about everything media and stuff. And so you guys really didn't have any more comments on the What the Fun show logo, right?
No, it's awesome. I like it.
It just works.
Amazing. Yeah. It's merch. It's merch worthy. You know, as soon as you see it, like Cicero said, it is something you want on a shirt. It sat right with all of us. We were like, wow, that is amazing. You know, obviously we tweaked it just a tad, but for the most part, it was set up golden. It was golden.
So we got to talking about the rebrand and everything, and we decided that if we're going to fully rebrand, if we have this fantastic new What the Fun show logo, that we also had to redo the Test Your Might logo. And Joe, I know that was a little hard for you because the original Test Your Might logo is extremely near and dear. Yeah, it's extremely near and dear to your heart.
Just the inside baseball now, that was never supposed to be the logo. We had aspirations of getting it designed professionally and having someone work on it, but We didn't, and we settled on the thing that I made, and I made that way too fast. Like, it took me tops, I don't know, half hour maybe, but I don't think it took me that long. Mm-hmm. And I wanted something that represented what we were doing, right? So our original logo it's the circle logo. It's got a cool color gradient, which I really love. I love that orange to red, or yellow to red, the orange in between. And then it was just, mano a mano, right? One guy facing off against another guy with the microphone in between, and they were going to battle it out with words. And I felt like that got everything across that what we were doing. And so, I was attached. It took me longer than anyone else to want to move away from it. Thankfully, Justin did me a great honor, and he incorporated some of my stuff into the new logo. So I was definitely the most resistant for change, I think, overall, for the What the Fun, for the Test Your Might logo. The only one that I was like immediately like, there's something there, was the What the Fun logo, and I was like, I see it, like, I know it's there. But with the rest of it, I was, and I think it's because I was a little attached. But as you guys see the new attached. One, you'll understand. It's it was a worthwhile change.
So with that being said, Justin and I, as well as Cicero and Joe, went to the creative process and really, I believe I thought of the idea, but Justin executed it just absolutely brilliantly. I'm so excited for you guys to see the new Test Your Might logo. Like, it's just amazing. And what's really cool is that what Joe already alluded to, and Justin, you could talk about it. We have some nods in the new Test Your Might logo that really gives us a reminder of where we came from. So Justin, reveal the logo. Yeah, an homage. Reveal the logo and then talk about it, man.
All right. Here it comes. All right. So obviously the color palette on the controller down below is very similar. As you can see, Cicero already has merch going, has it on his shirt.
No big deal.
And so there's an N64 controller coming back to when we grew up with the color scheme, the same palette color scheme as the original logo, just a nod back with a nice scorpion-like chain going through the entire Test Your Might font, which is done in a Mortal Kombat style-esque font.
Get over here.
Which actually I photographed the chain and made it wrap through the letters properly with putting things underneath and cropping it correctly. Mike helped me choose where to put the chain through. And then, of course, at the end of the chain is a microphone, which is another nod back to the original and telling us this is how we fight. Controllers in hand with a mic in hand. God, it's surreal right now.
Yeah. And I think it was Joe and I who simultaneously thought that the kunai should be the N64 controller. At the end of
it had to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we really we were in a Discord call. We had a meeting, all four of us, and I was like, wait, Test Your Might, that's an homage to obviously Mortal Kombat. And so I was thinking that let's do something with Cicero with Scorpion's chain. Cicero's chain.
I was 25 years old when I had that chain.
just hitting 25 on that.
Right.
Yeah. And so I had a couple original designs, and then Justin blew it out and really really executed it brilliantly, and it came to a point where we just fell in love with this one as well. And I think we're so happy to not only finally reveal these logos to you, but for you guys to see the work that we really put into it, because we really did. Cicero, you are mostly on Test Your Might. You're part of the What the Fun family, but you're mostly on Test Your Might, and you're wearing a Test Your Might shirt already.
That is correct. That is correct.
What do you think about the logo?
It's good enough to put on a shirt and wear.
People will buy it.
That says it all.
Yeah, right. It's a shirt. You can buy it. And we'd love to see them out in the wild. That's for sure.
Oh my God, yeah, that would be amazing.
But yeah, they're easy to live with, and it's a cool looking shirt, if I say so myself. Yeah, you should get one.
Yeah. Speaking of, so Justin, why don't you pull up all three logos at the same time there for our listeners, just so that they could see what's going on. So yeah, these are all our logos. And you can find our new social presence at What the Fun Pod. So What the Fun Pod, we are only on Twitter at this point. I'm not sure if we'll be creating an Instagram or Facebook. I believe we might just stick with Twitter, just so that our audience is a little bit more focused that way. But certainly you could follow us at What the Fun Pod. We will still have the 90s First Show podcasting like Twitter account, and we will start to bridge the gap between pointing you in the right direction from 90s First to the What the Fun Pod socials account. And Cicero has created a merch store at cottonbureau.com that will include the Test Your Might logo as well as the What the Fun logo to be done on t-shirts. We are going to be exploring potentially some more stuff, merch later, like stickers and mugs. Maybe we haven't fully discussed that out, but we wanted to give the opportunity to get some t-shirts. And if you're looking at the video version of this here, you can see Cicero wearing one of those shirts already with the Test Your Might logo. And we will have a full gambit of, the What the Fun logo and Test Your Might logo on there as well. So yeah, why
don't you guys, if you hear the sound of our voices and you've seen this stuff and you like this stuff, and want something other than shirts, why don't you guys let us know what you'd like to see the merch on? Stickers, hats, bags, books, hoodies, right? Well, you can get hoodies. You can get hoodies from Cotton Bureau. So you get hoodies and t-shirts from Cotton Bureau. Any type of shirt-like apparel, right? So tank tops, t-shirts for unisex t-shirts for women, also tank tops and onesies for babies. So you can get any of those logos in any of those types of configurations, as well as sweatshirts. But if you'd like it on a hat or a book or a pen or any coffee mug or stickers, what have you, let us know what it is that you'd like to see it on, and we'll see what we can do to create merch for that.
100%. We are so excited for the future of What the Fun. We put a lot of work into this, and we are going to start off with a bang. And so Test Your Might next week, Tuesday, is going to have a phenomenal guest that Cicero has lined up for us. So please stay tuned for that.
We're not going to announce it here?
Do you want to?
I mean, we might as well, right? Like let's start the blitz, right?
Okay.
Let's start the blitz. Let's
Cicero,
we're gonna name names.
We're
gonna name names.
Then name the name.
Name names. So the person that is going to be on our show with our new logo for Test Your Might is the person that is kind of actually responsible for all of this happening. Because if it weren't for this person, Mike would not have known that I existed. He would not have reached out to me, and none of all of this wackiness, none of the fun that you're like, what the is happening, what the fun is happening, it would have happened. And so we are going to be in a very, very celebratory mood with episode 72 of Test Your Might, or 73.
72.
No, 72.
72. Yeah. Episode 72 of Test Your Might, featuring the one and only Mr. Ryan McCaffrey of IGN and Podcasts Unlocked. So,
we're so excited.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Stay up on this feed, on our other feed. Go to our YouTube, subscribe to that YouTube channel so that we can have the What the Fun actual link. Let's do it. We've got big guests, and they'll only get bigger and better. There's so much fun to be had. Let's have it. we're starting with Ryan McCaffrey.
Yeah, we are stoked to have Ryan on. Cicero was on Unlocked a little bit ago and told Ryan about the concept, and Ryan was really excited about it. So glad to have him on for the very first episode. And also, just I'll be frank, I'm really excited to meet one of my podcasting idols. You know, somebody that I look up to in the podcasting space. So, and then later on in that week, me, Justin, and Joe will have our first What the Fun show, which will be a review of the season of Moon Knight. So the finale of Moon Knight, we will be reviewing it, and that will be the first What the Fun show.
What an awesome week.
And
what an awesome week. What a banger of a show. Oh my goodness. We can't be more thrilled than we are. Guys, stay tuned. There's big things coming. The What the Fun Network is going to be something that we are not only excited for, but I believe that others are going to be excited for in the future as well. So check out all the links that I'll have down below. This is our merch stuff, our new Twitter account, our new email that you can email us with questions or answers or anything like that. Right. All the things new are going to be down in the description below, as well as if you are hearing my voice, the podcasting feed and the YouTube channel are switching over to What the Fun. So you're already subscribed. It's just switching over. So if you see the What the Fun show, you know, in your podcasting feed, we were formerly 90s First. So it's all going to stay the same. It's not going to change. Well, it's just going to change name, but the feeds and everything will be the same. So
the food will taste the same. The brand name will change.
Yes, exactly. Indeed. So, Justin, any final thoughts?
God, I'm blown away right now. One the reveal to public that we've got these names and logos changed, and then Ryan McCaffrey going to be on. Can't wait until this following week. It's big things, not big, not huge, very, very huge things coming for this podcast network. Excited. Hope you guys are too.
Yeah. Joe, a little bit. Last thoughts.
I'm just excited. I'm excited for you guys who are listening and watching. I hope you are. I hope you like the logos. I hope you love them. I hope that, we've said it a bunch on this, but there was so much work that went into this. Like, it was a lot of back and forth. And if you've done something like this, you understand. But like every little thing, when you make a reveal like this, you want it to be right. And for months, the little things, it's all been the little things. And I feel like this has paid off. I'm really excited to see the response and hopefully to see you guys out there with these logos on. Just that's huge. It's gonna be
Cicero, final thoughts.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We have been doing it. We're gonna continue to do it. But we're gonna look nicer doing it. It is all right. It is all right, and we're stoked that you guys are here with us on the journey, and we're hoping that you bring some of your friends along, and maybe even strangers.
Yeah,
right?
Who knows?
Yeah. And heck, bring your enemies. Right? Bring your enemies along. Maybe your enemies can become friends,
or you can debate them.
Or you can debate them. You guys can test your might.
Even outside of Test Your Might, after I'm done recording the next few days, I ask my friends, my family, anyone around me, the debate questions to see what they would say, because it's something that you love so much that you want to throw it out into the world, even after recording is complete.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, listeners, we're excited. We are the What the Fun family, and we are the What the Fun Podcasting Network. We thank you so much for, the anticipation that you may have had for our rebrand. And so my name is Mike. That's Justin. That's Cicero. That's Joe. And we are What the Fun, and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Peace. Bye.